in a child's pose today. All right, so just taking a few moments to just ground yourself on the mat, sitting back towards your heels, reaching forward, and starting to lengthen, connect with your breath. Maybe coming into a new Ujjayi breath. Long, deep inhales and exhales through your nose. Constricting your nose as you exhale and just kind of hearing that audible sound in the back of your throat. And just starting to let everything go that might be on your mind and just really becoming present. Noticing the feeling and the sensations around you. And then taking your time, whenever you're ready, we'll make our way onto our hands and knees and just go through a few rounds of cat-cow pose. Just moving with our breath, finding your own flow. And from here, making your way into downward facing dog. Stretching it out for this first one. Heel-toeing the feet. Maybe bending the knees or coming up on the toes. And then you can walk the feet to the hands for a ragdoll forward fold. Relaxing the head and neck. Maybe swaying side to side a little bit. Grounding through the feet, lifting up through the hips. And then we'll come to a half lift, drawing the shoulder blades back, head and neck reach forward. Exhale to fold forward deeper. And then next inhale, reach your arms out long, lengthen through your spine, extended mountain pose. We'll pause here to just set an intention for class, just to remind ourselves of something we're grateful for. And then we'll start with our sun salutations. So on your next inhale, reach your arms up nice and long, lengthen through your spine. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands, stepping back to a plank, and then lowering either all the way to a cobra or to an upward facing dog. Drawing the shoulder blades back. Making your way into a downward facing dog, staying here about 5 deep breaths. Spreading out the fingers, hip, chest towards the upper thighs. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend your knees, look up to your hands. Walk, step, or hop, feet to hands coming into a half lift. Exhale, folding forward deeper. And then next inhale, making your way all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Moving through the same thing again with your breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to make your way to a plank. Lowering down. Up dog or cobra pose. Taking your time. And then downward facing dog, settling in. 5 deep breaths. Staying here for 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5, bending the knees, looking up to the hands, feet to hands. Half lift. And then exhale, fold. And reach your arms all the way up. Good, so last round, just moving on your own, with your own pace, with your own flow. From here, we'll sit back for Sun Salutation B, chair pose, reach up, inhale, exhale to fold forward, move through Vinyasa. We'll come to a 3-legged down dog, reach that right leg up and back, and then you can bring that right foot through, setting up for warrior 1. Just 1 breath here, and then we'll cartwheel the hands down. Move through a Vinyasa again, stepping back to a plank. Coming through an up dog or cobra. And back into downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up, 3-legged down dog, and then bring that foot through, spin the back heel down at the same time. Warrior 1. Good. We'll make our way back down. Moving through the Vinyasa and meeting in downward facing dog. Five deep breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Bring your feet up to your hands, half lift. Exhale, fold, and then finish by sitting back, chair pose. And then all the way up. Same thing again. Inhale, sit back, reach up, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Moving through a Vinyasa, half lift. Three-legged down dog, right leg reaches up. And then bring the foot through. Warrior one. Good. Cartwheeling your hands down, making your way to the other side. Left leg reaches up, and then bring that foot through. Good. Cartwheel the hands down, and then we'll go through a Vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Settling in here, about 5 deep breaths. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the feet up to the hands. Half lift. Folding forward, and then sitting back in chair pose. Reach up. Good. All the way up. All right, we'll just pause here. Maybe grab a drink of water before we start our standing poses. All right, and then we're going to start with standing forward fold. So feet close together, a little bit apart. Take your peace fingers. We're going to fold forward, hinging from the hips, taking the peace fingers around the big toes, drawing the shoulders back, half lift, and then folding forward deeper, lifting up through the hips, elbows out to the side, coming back to a breath, sending your body weight a little bit forward. And then from here, inhale, draw the shoulders back, look up. And then exhale, you're going to lift one of your feet up, place the hand under up to your wrist, and then the other foot, bend the knees as much as you need to, and then you're going to work towards straightening the knees, getting deeper into your forward fold. And then from here, you can release your hands. Come to that half lift. And then take your hands to your hips. Come all the way up. Great. From here, we're going to step to the front of the mat. And we're going to set up for the rest of the standing poses. So we're going to set up for triangle pose to start with. So big step out to the side of your mat, maybe starting in star pose. Turn to face the right foot or face the back of the mat. We're going to reach forward, bringing the hand, maybe first level or hardest level peace fingers around the big toes. Option to just stay on the fingertips or up on the ankle. Next, inhale, make your way back up through to the center, star pose, and then exhale, we'll turn to face the other side, setting up for triangle pose, other side, reaching forward. Long line between the arms, spinning the top hip open, pressing in towards the bottom hip. Good. From here, we'll make our way back up, coming through to star pose. We'll turn to face the other side again, taking our hands to our hips, squaring our hips, right hip back, left hip forward. Left arm reaches across your body, so twisted triangle. As you come forward, you're going to reach it across to the outside of that foot, bringing the right hand to the right shoulder, and then spinning that arm up towards the sky. Keep twisting. Good, and then you can make your way back through to center. Star pose. We'll turn to face the other direction. This time, right hand comes across your body. Left hip back, reach, 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 bringing the fingers to the outside of that foot if possible. Left hand to left shoulder. Twist, spin that shoulder open as you reach up. And then inhale, you can make your way back up through to the center, star pose. And then we'll take our hands to our hips and step forward. All right, we're going to take a wider step back with that right foot, arms out to the side, and then turn to face the back of your mat, setting up in a warrior two to start with. And then we're going to move through to extended side angle pose. So reach forward, maybe bringing the forearm above the knee as an option, or bringing the fingertips all the way down to the mat, reaching that top arm forward, bicep towards the ear. If you want to go deeper and take a bind, that's an option. You can bring your shoulder underneath your knee and reach the top arm behind your lower back. And then we'll make our way back up through to the center. Turn to face the other direction. So setting up warrior two to start with. And then reach forward. Finding your level, so same as the other side. Maybe reaching forward. Coming back to your breath. Good, and then we'll make our way back up through to the center, pausing in our star pose. Hands to our hips, turn to face the front, step forward. All right, so from here we're going to set up for wide leg forward fold. So take a big step back, right foot again. Make sure your feet are as wide as your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, drawing the shoulders down and back. We're going to start to come forward, hinging from the hips, allowing your arms to come up to release the shoulders. Lift up high through your hips to work towards bringing your head down to the mat. Body weight a little bit forward. There's the sun. And then hinging from your hips, start to make your way up, keeping your hands interlaced. Good. We'll inhale to reach our arms out, and then you can bring your hands to your hips, and we're going to come forward again. So option here to just walk the hands underneath you, or take the peace fingers to your big toes as leverage, or maybe try to make your way into a tripod headstand just for fun. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands in front of you to come to a half lift. Little bend in the knees, take your hands to your hips, make your way all the way up, and then we'll step to the front. All right. From here, we're just going to step back with our right foot. We're setting up for a pyramid pose, lining up heel to heel. So this is a shorter stance, either grabbing your elbows behind you or a reverse prayer pose, squaring the hips, and then hinging from your hips, starting to fold forward towards your front knee. And then keeping your hands behind your back, you're going to make your way back up. Good. Stepping forward and then switching sides. Squaring the hips, right hip back, left hip forward, lined up heel to heel, and then leading with your chest, folding forward towards that front knee. When you're ready, slowly making your way back up. And then we'll step forward. You can release your hands. All right, and then we're going to go through our standing balancing poses. So we'll start grounding through our left foot. Option tree pose or half lotus, standing half lotus pose. Coming back to your breath, focusing your gaze on something. Option to either reach the arm up or in half lotus, you can fold forward. And then slowly making your way out of the pose. And we'll just set up for the other side. So same variation you did on the first side. Coming back to your breath, finding stillness in this pose, and then maybe reaching up or coming forward. And making your way out of the pose. Good, shaking it out. All right, hand to big toe pose. So grounding through your left foot, left hand to left hip, either right hand on that knee or taking the peace fingers to the big toe. Reach that foot forward. Keep a straight back, even if the leg isn't straight. From here, we'll open the hip out to the side. And then bring that leg forward. Keep it up as high as you can with the straight leg. Point the toe. Stand up straight. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake it out. All right, good. Same thing on the other side. Grounding through the other foot. Bringing that foot up. Finding something to focus your eyes on. Opening that hip. And then we'll bring the foot forward. You're going to release it, keeping it up as high as you can. Point the toe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Shake it out. All right. We'll come into chair pose here. So we're going to hold these a little bit longer, about 5 deep breaths. So sit back, reach up, draw the shoulders back. Good. From here, we're going to fold forward. We'll move through a vinyasa, half lift, making our way to a plank, an up dog or cobra pose, and then downward facing dog. We'll bring that right foot through between our hands, spin the back heel down. We're coming into warrior one. Reach up. We're going to hold it here. 5 deep breaths. Knees over top of your ankle, lengthen through your spine. And then you can straighten through that front leg. We're going to take that front foot, spin it in 45 degrees. Set up for warrior one on the other side, keeping the arms up. Nice bend in that left leg. And then we'll open up to warrior two, squaring the hips to the long edge of the mat. And then we'll move through to warrior two on the other side. So coming through to the center. Right leg, right knee bends. Energetically squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Good, and then we'll just kind of make our way through a vinyasa, cartwheeling the hands down, stepping back, lowering down to an up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, just 2 or 3 breaths. And then from here, you can stop or hop the feet through at the center, crossing at the ankle, coming to a seat and setting up for seated poses. All right, so maybe grab a drink of water here. We're about halfway through. Clouds just parted after the sun came up. Nice and clear right now. Yeah, it's really pretty. All right, so flex the feet. Sit up nice and tall. Stack your spine and just place your hands down by your side. So Dandasana pose, taking a few deep breaths here. And then on our next inhale, we'll reach our arms up, lengthen through our spine. Exhale to start to fold forward, taking the peace fingers around the big toes to start with, drawing the shoulder blades back, and then folding forward, elbows out to the side. Deep breaths. Inhale to draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest up, and then exhale, you're going to reach those arms forward, seeing if you can go a little bit deeper for the next 5 breaths. Good, and then inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. We'll set up for a reverse plank, taking the hands behind you, pointing your toes, and then lift your hips up, work towards pressing your feet down to the mat, keeping the hips up high. Shoulders can kind of come together in the front. Good, and then lower back down. We're going to move through a vinyasa, crossing at your ankles. Coming forward, draw the shoulders apart. Coming back to a plank, lowering down through to an up dog or cobra pose. Back into downward facing dog, just about one breath. And then walk or hop your feet through at the center, crossing the ankles, coming to a seat. All right, we'll start with our left foot forward, right foot either towards the inner thigh or half lotus pose, so bringing it in towards the hip. Your right hand's going to come behind your back, and your right fingertips are reaching behind your back for your toes. Inhale to lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold forward towards your leg that's out long. Inhale to draw your shoulders back, lift up. Exhale, come up the whole way. Just switch sides. Right foot either towards your inner thigh or bringing it up for the half lotus. Left hand comes behind your lower back, reaching for the toe. Flex the foot that's out long, lengthen through your spine, and then start to fold forward. Good, and then on your next inhale, make your way back up. Maybe shake your legs out in front. Move through a vinyasa, and the vinyasas are always optional, so you can always skip that vinyasa anytime you need to. It's there to just keep the flow moving, keep your body moving in between poses. One breath in down dog, and then bring your feet through. All right, left leg comes out long. You're going to bend the right knee back. Rotating the inner thighs in towards each other. Flex that foot that's out long. Reach up, lengthen through your spine, and then fold forward. And then from here, draw the shoulders back, lift the head and chest up, come up the whole way, straighten the right leg, and then bend the left knee back. Both sit bones on the ground, knees rotate, legs rotated in towards each other, reach up, and then come forward. And then you can slowly start to make your way up, straighten out both legs, and then moving through an optional vinyasa. Coming back to a seat, left leg is out long, right foot towards the inner thigh. Flex that foot that's out long. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, hinge from your hips to reach forward, folding forward. Next, inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way, switch sides. Flexing the foot that's out long, lengthen through your spine, folding forward again on this side. And next, inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. Make your way through a vinyasa. All right, good. Left leg out long. Bend the right knee in towards your chest. You're going to take your arm inside that right knee. Going to hands distance between the foot and the knee. Reach forward, trying to bring the shoulder in front of the knee. Then bend that arm back. Left hand comes behind your back. Fingertips trying to hook as you fold forward, squeezing that knee in towards you. Right butt cheek is going to be lifted off of the ground a little bit. And then you can sit that right butt cheek down, release your arms, make your way up, straighten out your right leg, and then set up. Same thing on the other side, left shoulder inside that knee, reach forward as you kind of hug that knee in towards you, bend the elbow back, other hand comes behind your back, flex the foot that's out long as you fold forward. From here, you can sit back down, release your arms, straighten both legs, optional vinyasa. All right, then coming through seated twist. So left leg out long, cross that right foot on top, either keeping the left leg straight, or you can bend that knee back as an option, kind of sitting on the heel. Right hand behind your back, inhale, reach up, and then exhale, twist, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Finding length in your spine, looking over the shoulder. Bring your stomach up and over that thigh. And then you can come back through to the center, taking an easy counter twist on the other side. And then we'll just set up for the other side. So right leg out long, cross the left knee on top. Maybe bend that knee back if you did on the other side. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, twist, looking over the other shoulder. And then you can make your way back through to the center and just take that easy counter stretch on the other side. All right, optional vinyasa. We're going to set up for 3 rounds of boat pose. So you're going to sit back, draw the shoulders back, bend the knees, reach your arms in front of you, maybe hovering the toes is level 1. Level 2, feet straight in front of you, bend in the knees. Level 3, work towards straightening the legs, holding it here for 5, 4, energy through the arms, 3, 2, 1, good. Crossing up the ankles, come forward, draw the shoulders apart, lift up, and then you're going to sit back, coming right into your second one without thinking about it. For 1, 2, embrace the shakiness, 3, 4, And 5, crossing at the ankles, rounding the shoulders, lift up. Good. Last one. Let's make it our best one. Sitting back. Reach for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crosses the ankles, lift up. We're going to sit back and just do like a boat pose stretch. So you can take your peace fingers to your big toe. All right. From here, you'll bend the knees, draw the shoulders back, and we'll work towards straightening the legs, even if they don't get straight. Chest comes forward. Stretching out the hamstrings here. And then option to move through a vinyasa. All right, then from here we're going to come to butterfly pose. So bringing the feet together, heels in towards you. Draw the shoulders back. So doing 2 different variations. First one is with a straight back. So hinging forward, keeping that chest lifted, 5 deep breaths. And then from here, you can start to round the shoulders, bring your head down, go a little bit deeper, rounding the back. Good morning. And then you can walk your hands back, make your way up. Last vinyasa. And once you come through, we'll set up for a wide-legged forward fold. So last seated pose. Taking the feet out wide, take your hands to the inner thighs, rolling them outward, flexing the feet. Maybe taking the fingers to big toes, if that's possible, or to the ankles. Draw your shoulders back, lengthen through your spine, hinging forward. Next inhale, you can draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest up. Exhale, come up the whole way. Spring your feet in front of you, maybe shake them out. Take a drink of water or coffee here. And then we're going to finish on our back. So you can take your feet out in front of you, and we're just going to roll down using our core. So maybe reaching the arms out long, tucking your tailbone, starting to roll down nice and slow. Once you're there, reach your arms up overhead, just stretch it out. All right, we're going to set up for 2 rounds of bridge pose. So bringing the heels in towards you, feet hips distance apart. Press your hands into the mat, lift your hips up. Maybe interlacing the hands underneath the legs. Lifting your chin up away from your chest. Energetically squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Good, and then you can slowly make your way back down. Take your feet out wide and then drop both knees to one side and then both knees to the other side. All right, we're going to do one more bridge. So option to do the same bridge or full wheel pose, or I'm going to do a one-legged bridge on each side. So taking whatever option you'd like, making your way up. If you're in one-legged bridge, pointing the toe, reaching that leg up high, hips up high. Maybe switching to the other leg. And then when you're ready, making your way back down. Hugging your knees in towards your chest, and then just rocking side to side or just moving in a little circle. We'll hug that right knee in towards our chest, left leg out long. Straighten that right leg, hands behind your thigh, your calf, or your ankle, gently bringing it down towards you. And then lift your forehead up towards the knee, just going a little bit deeper. Good, and then we'll lower back down, bending that knee back in again, switching sides. So right leg out long, left knee in towards your chest, pull that knee up nice and high, and then you can straighten the left leg. Just noticing maybe how one side feels compared to the other. When you're ready, you can bring your forehead up towards that knee, going a little bit further. Bending that knee back into the chest, lowering down. All right, from here we're going to come onto our forearms behind us, setting up for fish pose. So your hands are kind of underneath your hips, elbows parallel. Inhale to lift the hips up, lift your chest up. Shoulders away from your ears as you start to drop the head back, open up the throat. And then you can lower yourself back down, taking your time. Next pose is going to be either waterfall pose or shoulder stand. So waterfall pose, just bringing the feet straight up. Shoulder stand, you're going to roll back towards your shoulders, hands behind your lower back. Chin stays tucked into your chest. Try not to look side to side. Just looking straight up towards your toes. Hands supporting that lower back. Option to come into plow pose, so starting to lower the feet behind the head, bringing the hips forward. You can interlace the hands behind the back here, coming up a little bit more on the shoulders. Feet are trying to touch the mat behind your head. From here, you can bend your knees. Knees are kind of like on either side of your head, pressing down towards the mat. And then you're slowly just going to roll yourself down, hugging the knees in towards the chest. All right, and then we are going to make our way back up to a seat. And we're going to finish our final pose. Can be traditionally it's a headstand, so it can be if you're working towards a headstand, maybe crow pose. So crow pose, bringing the knees above the armpits, or it can just be a child's pose. It can be something else you just want to do that might feel good. And if you're in crow pose, you want to think to keep the forehead lifted, because if you bring the forehead down too much, you'll start to come down. So you want to think lift up through the core. Try to keep your gaze lifted. Maybe bring one toe up, then the other. Very good. All right, so when you're ready, we'll make our way down to our back, taking any last stretch that you want to do, like that nice little twist might feel good. So last stretch, and then finding a comfortable position for Shavasana. So in Shavasana, just allowing your back to lie flat on the mat, allowing your body to be still after all that movement. Coming back to a normal breath. Letting yourself just sink a little bit deeper into the mat. Allowing any tension that's left to just release from your body. And using these few moments before we start our day just for yourself. And then from here, take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale out through your mouth. Start to roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists a few times. And then reach your arms up overhead, bend your knees. You can roll onto one side and pause there for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, make your way all the way up to a seat. All right, and then we'll finish by bringing our hands to our heart center, taking one more inhale, reaching our arms out and up. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Just taking a moment to feel a sense of gratitude again, and just allowing the positive energy that you feel from class to be a benefit to yourself and the people around you throughout the day. Namaste. Yay.